Hi everyone, I am Francesco Suman, a science journalist, and I am here today with Giulio Monaco, full professor of experimental matter physics at the Department of Physics and Astronomy of the University of Padua, and with Peihao Sun, a postdoc at Professor Monaco's lab. They both work with X-rays to study peculiar properties of glasses. In particular, one of their goals is to observe a new out of equilibrium state of condensed matter, which has never been observed before. And these objects are called ideal glasses, and they might have very interesting properties and technological applications, for example, in quantum computers or in digital memories. Professor Monaco was awarded an ERC Advanced Grant in 2021 to pursue his project, and he hired Peihao as a postdoc in his lab, and Peihao was awarded a Marie Curie Individual Fellowship. Both of you arrived in Padua only recently, let's say. Professor Monaco, you arrived in Padua in 2020, and the following year, you were awarded the ERC Advanced Grant. So everything went as planned. I mean, where were you before coming to Padua, and why you decided to come to Padua?
Right. So everything goes as planned. I'm not sure because you never planned this sort of grants being awarded. Before coming to Padua, I actually was in France for a long time. I was in Grenoble. It's a small town on the French Alps where I spent maybe 14 years of my life. And then for family-related reasons, I decided to come back to Italy. My family was in Padua, my daughters, my wife. So I first moved to Trento, where I stayed 8 years. And then more recently, as you were saying, less than 2 years ago, I moved to Padua. And right, I wrote the same project where last year of my staying in Trento and the first year here in Padua, and I got granted here last year. So yeah, I think was matching very well my change of university, but was not planned. Yeah.
And and what about you, Peihao? Where have you been before coming to Padua, and why did you choose to work in Professor Monaco's lab?
So before coming to Padua, I was a PhD student at Stanford University in the USA. And during my PhD research, I met Professor Monaco, who helped me a lot. Actually, he was on my thesis defense committee. And so we were exchanging a lot in terms of scientific ideas and so on and such. And I became particularly interested in sort of the intersection between X-rays and glasses. And so when I was about to graduate, I decided to apply for this Marie Curie Fellowship with working with Professor Monaco. And for me, I think I was hoping to get some more of an international experience, and this for sure I got already. There's one more year to go, and yeah, so that's why I came to Padua with Professor Monaco.
And Professor Monaco, you said that things never go exactly as planned. So how things went in this case, and in general, how do you get the most competitive and most prestigious European research grant?
I'm not sure there is a receipt that I would be able to tell, or there's a secret way of doing this. I think you start with an idea that for some reason you think it's reasonable or convincing, and then you just go through with patience through the writing of the project. During the project, I was helped quite a bit here in Padua from the Office of Individual Fellowships and Grants. And in these ERC projects, there are two steps of evaluations. There's a first step which just amounts of grading the project in itself, And there's a second step, which is based on an interview. In particular, in the second step of the interview, I think the interaction with the offices here in Padua was particularly helpful. And but the exercise of writing the project in itself is very individual. I mean, you have to sit on the desk and scratch your head and find a good question to ask. And yeah.
And according to your experience, what was the key elements that allowed you to get the grant?
So I think the key element was the deadline, which has been for a number of years up to now in August. And that's basically the only window where one has a couple of months or a month and a half time to write a project, because there are no courses, no teaching, and I think that was the most important ingredient. Then there is the time to write it down.
And what about you, Peihao? What does this experience mean for your career? I mean, you just said that you have 1 year left in Professor Monaco's lab, and then what you expect will happen in the coming years?
So yes, yeah, I have one more year left. I think the goal for me was to, as I mentioned before, to gain some experience, international experience, which I think would be important for me for my career, and also to learn more importantly, to learn from the expertise of Professor Monaco's group, which I have already learned a lot, and there will be more to learn for sure. And yeah, and for afterwards, I think I would like to stay in academia if possible, but yeah, this as Professor Monaco also mentioned, you can never tell for sure. So I would begin to look for opportunities that would be good for my career development.
Well, good luck for your career, of course, and good luck in finding these ideal glasses. Are there already some clues there that you are on a good path to observe this object?
I think there are some preliminary results that make us confident that it might be possible to get there. But I mean, it's still a long way. I mean, the project is still to start, so we have to keep the final questions towards the end of the project.
Yeah, yeah. For a question as big as this one, you can never say that you know for sure where they are or what they are. But yeah, we're on our way. It's, I think, for one of the biggest good things about joining Professor Monaco's group is that I feel like we do things step by step, and this is exactly what we're trying to do now. So, in a very scientific way, to achieve our goals, one step at a time.
And this is definitely the way to go. So congratulations again for your grants, and good luck for your job and your experiments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.